Look at this cover. Isn't it just neat? And don't you think Magnus looks like a younger Kurt Cobain? Hey everyone, it's me, and today I'm going to do my first review ever. I'm going to be reviewing the last book I read, and that's Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer, the first book in the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard trilogy. This is a spoiler-free review. Feel free to keep watching the video if you haven't read the book yet. So I was so excited going into this book because if you don't know, Rick Riordan is one of my favorite authors. And I completely love all of his books and all of his characters, and let me tell you, Magnus Chase was not the exception. So this book follows obviously Magnus Chase, who is Annabeth Chase's cousin. If you don't know, Annabeth is one of the main characters in the Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus series. She actually appears in a few parts of this book, so if you have read Percy Jackson, that was so amazing. So Magnus is a 16-year-old boy who, after his mother's death, is living in the streets of Boston, and after some stuff happens, he discovers he is related to the Norse god. So, like in every other Riordan book, this kid has a destiny to fulfill. He needs to save the world and all of that. But the difference is, before he can even know more about all of this Norse mythology situation, he has to die, and he has to go to Valhalla, which is kind of the paradise for the Norse mythology. If you have read any other Riordan book, you know this is like the basic structure of all of his books, but do not be fooled. This book has its own story, it has its own different plot and completely different characters, which by the way are so amazing, which I completely fell in love with, especially Hearthstone the elf. He has an ability with magic, which I thought was really interesting because we haven't seen actual magic in all of Rick Riordan's books. And then there's Blitzen the dwarf, who can make things like every other dwarf, but he has, let's say, his own style of doing things. Also there's Samira Alabas, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Sam as Magnus calls her. I completely love that character too. She is a Valkyrie. Basically I loved every character in this book, although I do wish we had got the chance to meet the other heroes in Valhalla, which we didn't, and I hope we can on the next books of the trilogy. Now about the mythology, I knew a little bit of Norse mythology before going into this book, not as much as the Greek mythology going into Percy Jackson's books, and definitely not enough apparently, but worry not, because like always Uncle Rick provided us with a dictionary of heroes, gods, creatures, etc. and in the back of the book, like every other book he has. Overall, I think this book was so amazing, a perfect introduction to a trilogy who has a lot of potential in my opinion. I love the characters, I love the topic, I love the mythology, and who knows, maybe we can finally get that answer of what's the connection between all of the gods and all of the mythologies in this world. I think there's hope we can get that because of the fact that Magnus is Annabeth's cousin. And as you can see, I have all of these notes in the book, which probably means I love the book. I marked quotes, I marked mythology facts, and I marked just moments I liked with the character. If you haven't read the book, you definitely should. I definitely recommend it, especially if you have read Percy Jackson or the Heroes of Olympus. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!